My name is Rhapsody and it's time to dance. Here in Moving Madness, from the Dimensional Portal and Echoes of the Void, all units shuffle each turn, but no matter where they end up, the front enemy is going to be difficult to break through. This is only on Covenant rank 1. We've got the Banished and Awoken as our groups. We've got the Pyreheart of Bogworm's Growth, giving us a random floor, a single capacity after each battle. And the Mutators are all units shuffle position in the train after combat. Fancy footwork. All units also gain +2 damage on movement. And Frontline Fighter. Enemy units gain Titanite when they're at the front. Enemy units gain Titanite. Mine? No such luck. Hey, I will say, Penitent's Blood Suit is a lot better in the worlds that there are enemies shifting every single turn. You can equip it to an enemy unit, and when they shift, they take 30 damage. 2 stings in the base deck to deal 12 damage to the front enemy units, or 6 because they will have Titanite, and an Animus of Will, 1 Ember 2 size, multi-strike 2, 3 damage, 8 health. Fleshweaver, Kale. Fleshweaver, yours is not spikes, it is corruption though, so that's a little annoying. And Seraphitern is chosen of entropy, so we have some silence we have to deal with at the end of the game. Ridiculous. Ancient Pinion. When an angel moves, it gains 2 valor. Yes, I will take that in the run where we are constantly going to be shifting everyone. I've got to say, Enchantress. Celebrate. Apply +2 health rather, and +2 damage and +6 health to friendly units on all floors permanently. Even though Celestial Radiance has a shift trigger, having Celebrate so that my backline units are more likely to be sturdy even if they go to the front line, I think is probably more important. I'm taking Enchantress. Start a battle, enemy at sprint each floor, sure. I really want that collector to die. I'm gonna have to give it the blood suit so that I can try and even... Because after combat, so yeah, I think it will shift and die. Never mind, it fully escaped. I wouldn't have given it the Penitent blood suit if I knew it would escape. Also, I should very clearly have to do something different with these floors, because Talos is going to die very early, which is awful. You can fly up. Do you need to fly up this turn, actually? No, you can cut down a second one on this floor before you ascend. Ah, the cost of that being a Spear Steward is not played. That's pretty bad. No. I know what it is. It's the second sting doesn't need to be played on the top line in the first turn because I'm going to be sending up another unit. So the second one can be played on this floor. Ridiculous. They have 7 damage each? How am I supposed to play any line? What? Alright, as much Inspire as you can have, and I'm gonna lose that unit. What the hell? Oh, and now this guy isn't moving at all, so he doesn't take additional damage. I'm gonna lose that as well. I'm gonna lose his first fight, and there's precious little it looks like I have any chance to do about it here. I am deeply interested in seeing how this could have even been slightly possible. If we're gonna have to shift at the end of the round, let's shift in a way that makes you defended. Uh-huh. Yeah, that one's gonna put us straight to rest. Real shame to lose the ancient pinion there, but I have no clue how I was supposed to keep that line alive. I guess we could have just accepted that. You know what it is? It's the seal that we accepted that spawns enemy units at the start of the battle. It's usually fine. In this fight, those units got ridiculously powerful ridiculously quickly. That said, I don't know how we would have changed it after we'd accepted that. Maybe we just need not to accept that trial. Seraph has chosen Savagery. We've still got Strix and Hallow, so at least we've got one of the new bosses. 2 Glimmers to help us do some AoE against the enemies. Huge. Also 2 Cleaves to help us do AoE against the enemies. Even huger. And a Firebrand. 2 Ember, 2 Size, Revenge, Gain Valor 2. Unfortunately, the Revenge units aren't necessarily going to be staying in the front line. First time, each turn a friendly unit is healed, draw 1. Certainly nice, but Deepwood Oil, equipped to units, gain armor 10. I should take this out tab, because it's actually currently already supported. Enchantress, don't let me down again. There we go, -1 energy per turn. Sorry, -1 card per turn even. Can deal with that. So Firebrand, you're going to want to be on the bottom line, and you're going to want to get as big as you possibly can by yourself. And then I need Talos to be comfortable ascending. Throw you there, and I'll fly Talos off of this floor, allowing me to cleave as well as just have the Firebrand take the damage on the bottom line so that I can get that revenge higher. Putting a Spear Steward in front of the Firebrand means that because they have to shift, it will go to the back. Sadly, I can't save the Spear Steward. My hope is that descending Talos here, and then... Oh, enough regen doesn't do it. Damn it. Because they're just going to get more powerful after this. The Titan Knight in the front line that's most annoying right now, I think. Well, we're not going to win on that bottom line, which is real bad for us. Certainly not the outcome that I was hoping for. We leak 8 damage to the top line, and the units that most want the buffs die. But hey, on the positive side, we probably don't survive. So there's that. What do I do to start this GD challenge? That's it. I feel no shame about this whatsoever. Anymore. At all. Could any of these possibly be played in a different way? Absolutely. That's always going to be the case about absolutely everything. Could I have possibly expected to play them that way? Maybe also. But were they easy and obvious? No. Double Selfless Sacrifice, double Razor Sharp Edge in the base deck, as well as Animus of Will. If I can get the Animus of Will and defend a position and hit a Razor Sharp Edge on it, maybe we'll have damage in this fight. And they've finally beaten out the bosses. I don't even have either of the new bosses. I don't even have that to celebrate. No! Why'd you take that from me? Clan cards only offer rares. Screw it. Whatever. Look, if we're just going, we're just going. Enchantress, I desperately have wanted you each time so that in the fights past the first one, I would have the health of my backline units better supported. It is clear to me at this point that I don't get the option to get to a second fight. Give me the resolve, gain 2 valor. Ugh. Yuck. Yucky. I don't want that, but I'll have to take it. Ugh. I really wish I could raise a sharp edge for the Animus of Will here. I can't even kill the carry. Sick of it. Good lord. Yep. Just leak all of that. Fly you to the back and selfless sacrifice you to the front. Whoa! We did it! Yay! I missed out. God dang Electa. Oof. Tome of the Lost Path. Yeah, apply fly to a friendly unit gives me the ability to just get the Animus of Will to a safe position every second turn. Which means, because it can't be in the front line every second turn, because if every unit has to shift, no unit can remain in the position it originally was. Heavensward also ascends friendly units, then advances the higher self-friendly unit on the new floor, which would give me the ability to overstack floors much more comfortably in the opening. Actually, I'm going to take Heavensward for specifically that reason. Because if I can give it intrinsic, then I can set up 2 floors and then just Heavensward the bottom floor into the second floor. Wildwood Tome, quick damage is also really good here. Awoken Rail Spike is also ridiculous, though. I'll take it first. With those two pickups, I'm heavily incentivized to head towards a Merchant of Magic. Maybe the second is my Merchant of Magic, though, because then I can go Merchant of Steel banished, Merchant of Magic banished, and banished units are going to be way better, courtesy of the fact they care all about the shift things that we have. Large Stone Dualism, can't get both, though. Banished. Like, Avenge is not bad. It's just, I can't consistently put it in the front line. Swords Maiden with Dualism is quite a good unit as well. If I had a lot of Deployment Ember, I could use that to try and set up our floor a lot better. Avenger only really is a good unit if it can reliably be in the front line, and if it's not reliably in the front line, it's garbage. I'm going to take the Sword Maiden based exclusively on potential, unfortunately, here. God, that's really pushing me to go to Merchant of Arms in the second area. When's my soonest Merchant of Magic? I think maybe this is my Merchant of Arms, because then I can hit the Merchant of Arms, I get additional money, and I've got an Empyrean Well, so as long as I get one good piece of equipment, I can make it deployable and get a second piece of equipment as well. Which, like, is that way too early to give Dualism to a Swords Maiden then? No, because I might want to dupe the Swords Maiden. Valor and Strength. I feel like I could put both of these on the Animus of Will just because of how terrifyingly tragic these openings have been. I'm scared. Of course I'm scared. Have you seen how have you seen the last 16 minutes? I'm terrified. Let's go. Shield Steward, Animus frontline, Swords Maiden, and then Talos top. So flying Talos down to this floor immediately shifts all of the units on this floor. And then Selfless Sacrifice gets Animus back into a good position as well. And then finally an Inspire. This is all about trying to support the Animus of Will to be comfortable in pretty much any position it happens to spawn in, or at least be able to survive in any position it happens to be in. Razor Sharp Edge gets us enough damage to be able to push through the Collector in the back line. Spear Steward top line doesn't really seem like it would make any difference, so I'll just double Inspire instead. The Drawwoken's Rail Spike is nice. I'll hit it here for free. It doesn't return dividend, unfortunately. I guess Swords Maiden, you being healed is worthwhile. Talos, I do want you to move. And actually, you moving forward is fine. You can take damage. Oh, here's ideal. So this is why we got Heavensward. We send both of these Shield Stewards up, and then the most healthy unit goes to the front of the line, which happens to be the Swords Maiden at the time. And now we've got 5 units on the same floor. As they all shift at the end of the turn, they are going to get a lot of damage. So 1919 for our backline units there. One of them has 25, one of them has 23. Interesting. So they do move a different amount of times. Compelling. Talos, you don't need to survive for any particular reason. because you do not have the Celebrate trigger anymore. Yeah, so imagine us doing that on turn 1. Oh, the Heavensward, wild. Death Metal Hymnist, really good, exclusively in the world where it doesn't end up in the front line. Yeah, I'll take a second to Heavensward. Channel Song. Or a unit from your deck reduces cost, increases stats. Spreading Spores is irrelevant, so it's Channel Song or nothing there. I really want to go to the Merchant of Magic. No, I have to. We agreed earlier. Consume removal for the Awoken Railspike is insane. All I need to do is now reduce its cost. Which I think I'm actually best served by re-rolling and doing right now.
Uh-huh.
35, 50, 85, 15, 10, 25. I had 25 left over, so I can try and use this Emberstone, hoping that when I re-roll, I only have 25 on the cost for the Smolder Stone. I think I'm better served by just rolling and hoping to see the Smolder Stone. Intrinsic -1 is also something I really would have loved to see there, but an Awoken Railspike that doesn't consume, but does draw 2 more cards than however much energy you put into it, really good. The banished units. Demonic Fledgling on shift, gain rage 2. That is the correct keyword. Good work. 5-1 Brain Spike, reduce cooldown by X, apply 2X Avarice. There's Covenant Spike for Conduit or Propagate. Propagate for additional damage shield is certainly nice, but Fireborn Brain Spike giving us reduced cooldown so that Talos can just fly again is also nice. It's not that important, though. Give me the Spike of Legion, which can actually do nutty things later as well. Alright, Archeon. Show me your claws. So, shield. I'm gonna go energy after this. Shield is what I kind of want to do, but I also want Swords Maiden, Animus of Will front, Demonic Fledgling here, and then Talos top. Because then Talos can descend, the Animus of Will is going to gain its Valor at the end of the turn and then shift. Yeah, here's the things. Heavensward now also wants to be played on the bottom line immediately. Taking away the Valor gain for Animus. Right, let's fly Talos down. Then I'll Heavensward the Shield Steward. And then I'm... Oh, it's Inspire. It's not the other one. And then I've done that. Is the answer. Please don't move my Animus of Will to the front line. Please don't do that. Well, we'll be losing the Demonic Fledgling, annoyingly. There's the Animus of Will in the front line. Thankfully, no. No, the answer is no. I didn't do that, actually. Oh, and those units have damage now. Don't even have the ability to save it. Well, I'll happily give you the prognosis for the rest of this fight if I let this turn resolve, which is I will lose. Weakest unit? Maybe Swords Maiden doesn't make any sense to me to sub. see. Maybe I don't Heavensward at all. Maybe that was the big mistake. Gain that 10 Valor, shift out of the front line on that first turn. Yeah, okay, I can see some logic in this. Just having that damage shield has a lot of value, especially because it can be propagated. Which it also needs to be here, lest we lose the floor. But thank you for shifting my units. That was additional damage. Yeah, Channel Song to draw a Swords Maiden, just as a big unit I can throw on the bottom line. Neat. Then Woken Railspike draws 4 cards, reduces the cost of some. Sorry, reduces the cost of all of them. I can use Awoken Railspike to draw most of the rest of the deck here. I'm gonna be losing the Demonic Fledgling. Even if I heal up Talos a bunch, so I give you 8 additional health, 16, I put you in the front line, you still end up dying to the enemy. And I don't have enough energy to cast Heavensward after playing the Draw Woken Railspike. Sadly. Heavensward gets us a next line we can utilize. And with a Selfless Sack in hand, yep, that'll be enough to get us through. Whew. The Animus of Will is so important to us having any damage right now. Wildwood's Home allowing us to attack it quick, really important, I think. Thorned Hollow, Firebrand. I don't like the revenge triggers. Thorned Hollow, realistically, if I had Thorned Hollow, you just stand on your own floor, just so that you can help sweep enemy units in the backline. And that has to happen. Someone has to be doing that. Additional Deployment Ember will give me the ability to support and summon you. Am I committed to a Merchant of Steel? No. No, I can easily go to the Merchant of Magic, Merchant of Trinkets rather. At the start of turn, add a Vine Grasp Bell with Ephemeral to your hand. That gives me the ability to rectify my own party positioning, which is really nice. Currently not using equipment, and I don't have angels to... Well, I have 2 angels, actually, to equip the equipment to. I just don't have equipment to equip to the angels. Martyr Signet, at the end of each battle, friendly unit on each floor permanently gains 6 health. Pretty good. But I should probably take Cursed Vines, and unfortunately, if I take that, I can't afford either of the others. Leopard skin, definitely not. Titan skin 5 for a single unit. That doesn't have dualism when it's put on a sword maiden, right? Actually, Titan skin 5 on a Thorned Hollow is pretty good. Although I could also give it 40 additional health and 2 damage for every missing health, which would give it a lot of additional damage at the start of the fight. I mean, just additional health straight up on the Animus of Will as well is quite nice. Makes it much less likely they ever die to a random thing. The Rage Revenge trigger is just, even if I have a dualism target at the moment, just doesn't seem appropriate. Yeah, that doesn't... Dualism does not affect Titan Skin. It shouldn't affect Titan Skin. The more I think about it, the more I lean towards just giving the additional health to the Animus of Will, so I don't have to worry about the possibility that it randomly dies. And also because it would be a great unit to dupe at this point. Valor forward friendly units, and we look at overstack floors as quickly as we can. We hit that Merchant of Arms, and then that Merchant of Magic. I can use revenge units a lot more now. Oh, I forgot about that as well. Anyway, I can use revenge units a lot more now. Because I can use the Cursed Vines to bring them back to the front of the line. Do I bother summoning the Spear Steward? Yeah, I'll chump block with the Spear Steward, because it's still just the Vicious Axe Thrower that dies to the spikes anyway, so I can save some health on the Thorned Hollow. Channel Song draws a Shield Steward, who doesn't really have anywhere to play it at the moment. So I'll Inspire, Self-Sack. Is that necessary here? I kind of want to use Self-Sack just so that I can throw the Demonic Fledgling at the very front of the party. Although, I get so much additional damage by triggering movement that I'll move the Animus of Will by taking 3 damage at the front first. I mean, if Heavens would also heal the Thorned Hollow, I have drawn very few of my healing or draw cards, so I'm not surprised to see that Thorned Hollow falling apart right now. There's some quick attack coming out on that floor now. Okay. Yeah, I shouldn't move the squishiest target back to the front of the body. Actually, that seems like a bad idea. Okay, then... It's nothing great to be propagating at the moment, so... Draw Woken Rail Spike, just to draw a ridiculous amount of cards. Raise Sharp. Raise Sharp. Oh, imagine getting to draw all those restores when I had someone on the board that cared about them. I mean, we could have kept all of our units alive, but without the Celebrate trigger, there's no reason to really worry about that. Cursed Twin Blade. Multi-strike 1. I mean, another strike for the Demonic Fledgling's not bad. It's also a piece of equipment. Restore friendly units to full health. Just give me a copy of that so the holo can be a little more comfy, please. Everlasting Light. Oh, weapons cache. Okay, no, I'm going to take weapons cache. That's how I'm going to get all of my weapons in the opening, so I don't have to make any of them deployable. That's huge. So, weapons cache, you are now deployable. I'm going to get an Overgrowth Carapace and an Everlasting Light. Do I want to merge Everlasting Light and Cursed Twin Blade? No. I will roll, see if I get anything that's more relevant. Stasis. No, Stasis isn't that great here. Glass Cannon, also not especially good in this position, I don't think. Let's see what the Alcove has to say about this. Dominating Power, plus 10 damage on strike, apply Corruption 20. Or on summon, spawn a random friendly unit from your deck. We don't have that many of those. Or apply melee weakness 1 and spell weakness 1. I think I go Dominating Power. I think I just throw that on the Animus of Will as well. And I'm having a lot of difficulty understanding why I wouldn't just dupe that Animus. So the second line would be Swordsmaiden Animus Animus. Start a battle, enemy units to be on each floor is a problem, as we've seen. I don't think I can take that. Real shame. So, Savage Shackles. Midline now takes Weapons Cache, where I summon a Animus of Will. Animus of Will. I really want to put more stuff there before I put down, like, Swordsmaiden. Need additional deployment Ember again. It's just Everlasting Light left in the deck at this point. Relentless Zealots. I think I just don't play Thorned Hollow in the opening, but then who gets the Overgrowth Carapace? That's for the Thorned Hollow. Maybe I just don't play the Swordsmaiden in the opening? Ugh, yuck. I really, like, I don't even have a weapon to draw at the point, so playing Swords Maiden now doesn't do anything, but I wish. I play Swords Maiden in the front line, really just to allow it to die in 2 turns time. Take 6 damage here. Move it forward with the Vine Grasp is to try and defend it next turn. No. I'm just gonna summon you on the top line and then self-sack. For one of the Animuses. Store. Do I think I get a better impact out of playing a Demonic Fledgling here and then Heavenswarding them both to the next floor? Or just letting the Thorned Hollow continue to grow? I think letting the Thorned Hollow continue to grow is better. Song fishes out a Spear Steward. We can get 3 Stewards on the top line, and then unleash the Wildwood for the additional health on our bottom. Let's get quick on the Everlasting Light Animus. Then an Awoken Railsmack to draw a bunch of additional cards, and Awoken takes all of those as well. Savage Shackles is doing nothing at the moment, considering I don't have units in hand. Yeah, getting the Valor stacks on Talos here is worthwhile, so I will give you the damage shield as well to keep you in the front line comfortably. I wondered what would happen down here. I'll keep the flight ability ready for the next turn, just in case it becomes relevant. Alright, Kodo. No, I don't think that will become relevant on this floor. Get him! Oh, the corruption. It's so much corruption. Tome of the Lost Path, Cursed Twin Blade. I mean, Tome of the Lost Path is still really good. Bloodsoaked Arena isn't bad for supporting the health at the bottom line as well, because the Thorned Hollow will get a lot of Valor. Give me that. Can't afford a Shard Channel, though. Seeing as I'm about to go additional energy again, I think Cycle of Life is something I can afford. Then this was going to be Merchant of Magic, if I recall correctly, because of some of the ridiculous things in our deck, like the Heavensward. But I'm less keen on that Heavensward idea now. I don't think I want to make it intrinsic and then overstack that second floor. I do think I just want to run the bottom floor by itself with the Thorned Hollow. So, no, it's going to be a Merchant of Steel instead. Dualism, interesting. Dualism available for the Thorned Hollow. I don't really want to large stone you. You're never going to get that many spikes, but if I give you Dualism And then I also give you Valor. You'll be pretty hard to kill. Oh, quick and multi-strike. Well, those make a unit competitive again. Multi-strike for a Sword Maiden, and hell, I'll give quick to a Demonic Fledgling. Which is that wild. As for this Empyrean well... How do you not take another Anus for will? The Demonic Fledgling's never going to be better than them. Even if I did just upgrade it, it's never going to be better than them. Remove 2 Shield Seals from deck. Kale, I need energy from you, unfortunately. Actually, I can't afford to let spikes ascend. I'm gonna have to set up on the bottom line. So no Thorned Hollow Floor. Setting up on the bottom line means I will be playing an Animus of Will, and then I'm gonna play a Swords Maiden as well. Will this draw the weapon for free, or will it draw it from Swords Maiden? Let's see the outcome of that. It draws it from Swords Maiden. So instead, I'll play the Cursed Twinblade. Sorry, instead I'll play the Animus. I can give Talos an Overgrowth Carapace because I don't have to fly it down to the bottom line on the first turn. Let's do chumps there for us. Good amount of valor for us all to have. Also, the damage the Animus of Will had on it helped it do damage there as well. Nice. Play those 2 on the top line just because they're comfy there. Talos can't be contained to a single floor at this point, is peeking above to the next. Everlasting Light is the one that needs to attack it quick. Give that Wildwood Unleashed. Do I care at all about the organization of that top line? I think not. I'm certain Talos can get larger than that. One more turn of growth and she'll be big enough. Although I guess I could even just heavens with all of these, but then the cherubs become a problem again. No, I can't do that. Chansong draws. Fond Hollow. Woo! Let's self-sack to put the healthiest unit in the front line. Full 6 from Draw Workins, I think. Nice to be able to play a couple of cards after that. We heal for the bottom line. Keep the inspiration coming. Oh, 6 is the maximum size, I see. Right. It must be, because you didn't grow last turn. I'm gonna add you to the bottom line so that you can inspire the troops. And then watch as Kale falls to their own corruption. Old growth. Rejuvenate, gain 10 max health. 10 max health to start with as well. Sanctuary, apply damage shield to the entire friendly floor. Yeah, that's definitely it. Merchant of Arms. Eventually, I'll probably be able to play a fourth unit rather on the same floor, so having a fourth piece of equipment that I do want to draw would be nice. But there's no Merchant of Steel in the final area, so if I ever want to go to another Merchant of Steel, it's now. No, my units are appropriately merged. Iron Tongues, sweet. This unit's damage is set to 30 and it cannot be changed. That's really good for some things, really bad for other things. That unit would get a lot of slays, which hurts because it can never increase its damage. It could also propagate a huge amount of valor to friendly units if it was merged with an Everlasting Light, but then if it was merged with an Everlasting Light, it wouldn't cost 0 in the opening, which is a problem. I think maybe no on the Iron Tongue. Although Iron Tongue being wielded by a Swords Maiden on the bottom line with Everlasting Light, that could do a lot of work. At quick speed, ideally. I'm not taking Imprisoned Zephyr, no. No? I mean, it competes against Blood-Soaked Arena. No, Blood-Soaked Arena goes on the bottom line. And Weapons Cache can be replaced. Fine. We'll do it. I'm also going to make it deployable because then I can very easily just replace it after I've used all of the weapon I need to use. Sure, I'll take an Exile's Diadem. Lowers the size of something on the floor. Combine 2 into 1. Not necessary if I'm going to be able to draw 4. Especially if I draw the Diadem early, I'll be able to draw 4 comfortably. As for removals, those Spear Stewards have only been chump blocks for a couple of battles. Shift to apply melee weakness 1 to enemy units from Celestial Radiance is really appealing. I think I will diversify that line though. And leave. Non-boss enemies restore 150 health if they move up a floor. Thankfully it's not units starting on the top line. That would be pretty bad for us here. Okay, yeah, we have the capacity for 4 summons on the mid line now, which would be Weapons Cache, and then Animus of Will, Animus of Will, Animus of Will. And we'd think it should be something like Swords Maiden to take advantage, but again, Swords Maiden will summon and then remove my ability to use. Ugh. Swords Maiden summons and draws out a 2-cost card from my deck. Let's just get the Thorn Dollar on the bottom line. You definitely need to be there. You wear the Overgrowth Carapace as well. It's fine, I don't need the Cursed Twin Blade immediately by default. Valor 2 to friendly units. I'm gonna put this on the Swords Maiden, because you also have dualism, so it'll be Valor 4 to friendly units when you do it. Then I can replace that with Imprisoned Zephyr. And I'll just play an Exile's Diadem on this floor for... Sadly, our Rejuvenate and then our Resolve trigger at the end of the fight are both deafened by the Deafening Herald. And there's nothing I'm capable of doing about that. So I'm just gonna... Wait, hang on. I had 7 draws coming out of the Awoken Railspike, so I should definitely use a couple of these cards first. Oh, by moving the enemies, I actually buffed them, and then they will kill our bottom line, so... No, I'm not going to allow that one to happen. There's Bloodsoaked Arena, so we will have the Valor on the bottom line already. That's nice. Unleash the Wildwood keeps us safe on the bottom line, and then immediately slays all the enemies. Yah-har. Let's get a quick on our Everlasting Light equipment. Got some Twin Blade for further in the back line, and then Razor Sharp as well. Wait, Talos should already be on their floor. I should have done that way earlier, because it's just Talos giving out additional resolve at the end of the turn. I do want to collect that collector. Spike of the Legion. Yeah, I'll propagate 8 additional regen and Valor and spikes for our bottom line. Yeah, that sounds great to me. Annoyingly can't do anything about the Deafening Herald right now. Happily drop Sanctuary and then a Selfless Sacrifice just for as many moves as I can get there. And then we get a bunch more moves with the Imprisoned Zephyr at the end of that turn. I mean, Channel Song can only draw out exactly 1 unit. Hello, Demonic Fledgling. Don't need the Unleash the Wildwood anywhere, but there's the Savage Shackles that now cost 0. Easy to burn. mean, yeah, it's doing some serious work on the bottom line. I don't have to worry about that. We slew all of the units that were non-negotiables, had to slay. Because Swordsman is attacking with Quick, it'll be at the front of the line by the time the enemy is attacking, so it's just going to be a sacrifice no matter what. Another Cursed Twin Blade. I'm going to go to the Merchant of Magic, but the Merchant of Magic has the Empyrean Well next to it, so... I just don't think another Cursed Twin Blade is anything that we need. We'll take Sanctuary, Adaptive Mutation. Restore a unit to full health and then swap its health and attack. Our units will have high enough Valor that they'll have a high enough false attack stat that'll be worth doing to them. Ooh. On deployment phase, draw a rune card from your deck, reduces cost to 0. That would get us the Blood-Soaked Arena immediately, which is nice for free. Great an ephemeral copy of this first spell you play each turn is ridiculous, and so is spells get an extra upgrade slot. So I'll be taking all 3 of these. Permanently remove Consume. I think from an Adaptive Mutation. -1 Permafrost. I feel like Heavensward is the -1 Permafrost. I'm honestly not playing them, though. Let's go -1 Permafrost on the Adaptive. I'm also just going to straight up reduce its cost and then reroll. Because then another Smolder Stone can go on the Awoken Railspike. Now it draws 4 additional cards. Spell Chain or Double Stack. I mean, Double Stack a Sanctuary. Plus 10 magic powers. Probably more relevant than anything else I can get here. I do think Empyrean Well, like, if I want to really, really just rock it off. Just another Animus of Will, and then we don't play the Swords Maiden, maybe. Or just another Awoken Railspike. Yeah, give me that. Look, I can't turn it down for long. I've been very reasonable about the fact that I've had this in this deck the whole time. Oh, actually, I'm fine with this. I can play the Swords Maiden at the front line now. It'll draw the Everlasting Light, and that's completely okay. It's a great piece of equipment. I'm not going to play the Diadem first, then. Because it's just, 20 additional Valor I miss out on if I do that. Blood-Soaked, Thorns, Weapon Cache, Animus, Swords Maiden frontline, because you will have the largest amount of Valor by the end of this. So Cursed Twin Blade for the one that attacks the least in the back line. Exiles Diadem for one closer to the front. Everlasting Light is yours, Sword Maiden. Then we can replace that with the Imprisoned Zephyr and throw Talos on the top line. Talos will draw the attack from Seraph in the very first turn, and then can just fly away immediately. So I don't even have to take damage. Our first spell is going to be the one that's duped, but, like, Awoken Railspike isn't, like, a really good dupe for us at this point. Oh, healing on the bottom line just kills us. That's not good. Um, just gonna cast double Vine Grasp to get rid of it. Then I'll raise a sharp edge, our multi-attacker on this floor. Drop an Inspire, and then Awoken Rail Spike draws so many cards. Set of Shackles, another Inspire free, perfect. Then Unleash the Wildwood on the bottom line to get enough health for the Thorned Hollow to survive. I'll also give you a Restore so that you get a decent amount of Thorns so you can actually respond to the enemy's aggression. I mean, the Adaptive Mutation I could play right now, but... well, I guess it's... it's fine, I'll play it whenever. It's not like I'm drawing 10 cards next turn. At least not at the start of next turn. And in fact, playing it later does have a huge benefit of... the later I play it, I can also hit a Emote Tome on it next turn, so I'll do that. This is just giving 50 health to the Swords Maiden, and then it'll give 50 additional damage when it swings back. We'll use Sanctuary to keep everyone comfy on this floor. Store is huge for the bottom line. And yeah, I'm going to make sure also the Deafening Herald dies by the end of that round. I don't want a Silence Trigger coming up to the second floor. That's where I live. Let's get rid of Dominion's Eye. Wildwood Tome is here for making the Swords Maiden quick, but I should also make another unit quick. Perfect. Spike of Legion for... I mean, Spike of Legion for just damage shield is great as well. Yeah, I can do that. I'll sap all of my units only because I know it's not going to make a difference at this point. Thank you, Sarah, for being on this floor, by the way, because it gives me a target for everyone to hit, which means everyone gets the benefit from the Imprisoned Zephyr. I can't Channel Song twice, so there's no use trying to do it once. At least not as my first move. Single Demonic Fledgling. You can guard the top line by yourself. See how well you do at that. Awoken Rail Spike also happens to get another Awoken Rail Spike, but I can't draw additional cards this turn because of the first Awoken Rail Spike play. Cruel fate. Alas. Just gonna buff that incant unit and heal someone who's dying. So the most Valor... oh, that's a lot of additional health for you. We'll drop Adaptive Mutation twice. Getting the Swords Maiden up to 245 additional damage. Nice. I'm going to move non-quick units to the front of the battle just so they move to the front before combat, and then after combat they have to move to the back because the quick units, the non-quick units attack after them. This should give me a lot more melee weakness shifts. Great to see Razor Sharp Edge still putting in work. So we do set up melee weakness with those shifts, but we also almost immediately use that melee weakness. So it never got to like a really high multiplier, unfortunately. I played enough that the cycle of life is now 0 cost. There's way too many cards. Just kill the enemies. Just kill them. Yeah, one'll do it. Let's do a couple more swapsy-dupsies. And that Swords Maiden is now appropriately huge for a Swords Maiden. I mean, the Thorned Hollow is also huge, but that's just because of the capacity. Oh, I love zero-costing Scourges after we draw them. A little bit more inspiration, why not? I can make everyone as angry as they'd like. That'll do it. Oh boy. Moving madness indeed. Yikes. If I had to say anything, survivability is the name of the game. You cannot, if this is a challenge that you are also struggling with, you can't invest anything in the future. The first fight is gonna kill you a lot of the time. Woof. I mean, also, if you start with one of the hollow units from Awoken, though, you're probably much better off. Maybe even if you start with one of the sweep units. Oh, but you don't start with a unit from Awoken, you start with a unit from Banished. Right. No, you start with a unit from Awoken. That's how we got the Animus of Will in the first place. I'm very lucky we got the Animus of Will. And that it got as many upgrades as it did as quickly as it possibly did. Thank heck. That themselves unlocking, or rather that challenge itself, unlocking 2 new challenges for us, including Starter Phase. Start with the tools to make a powerful train. Covenant rank 6, you are Melting Remnant, Umbra, and Bogworm's Growth. Downright deployable. -1 energy per turn, but 10 deployable energy. Gear up. A Merchant of Arms appears in the middle of the tracks after the first battle. And Hammer Time. Start with Hef's Hammer and it has deployable. Got it. You need to make everything 0 cost. And you need to mainly win in your deployment phase, because you can only really play 0 cost things after that. Well, low cost things, not 0 cost. This is not like the Unbroken Horn challenge where you start with 30 Ember and you just lose Ember until you run out. Moon's Master. The full moon is always active and your units gain more conduit as the endless night wears on. Full of it, the full moon is always active. You're also Lunar Coven? How does that work? If the full moon is always active, can I ever trigger Moon Cycle? Call to the Moon. Friendly units gain Conduit 1 and lose 2 damage on Moon Cycle. So yeah, you can, but you just always also have the positive effects of full moon being active. Got it. And economy class, -2 capacity on each floor. That's tough. That's going to be a toughie. Have to see exactly how we navigate it in the future. Until then, though, my name is Rhapsody, and the name of the game has been Monster Train 2. Top left is a series playlist for all my content of the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Out above the thanked in. A special thanks to this episode to Jazzy. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully see you all next time.